Today I have a story to tell you that frankly is one of my weirdest days in Japan yet. It started as any other tourism focused day did, with a visit to a historical monument in the Imperial Palace. But see, as I signed into my Airbnb, it let me know about the Kyoto Gozan Okuribi, held once a year, where 5 hills around Kyoto are lit with massive bonfires that you can see from all over the city, with different bonfires viewable depending on where you are. I first headed to this park as it was recommended to me as a good viewing point, but once I arrived I found out it was only fit to see one of the 5 bonfires. While I did enjoy making my way over here and walking over the stepping stones, I decided that wasn't good enough. And with some Google Translate fueled searching, I found a nearby mountain that had a view of all 5. Well, I say nearby, it was an hour's walk away. But I love my summer walks in the sun, so I set forth on my journey. And see, days like today prove that just walking between places simply can't be replaced with public transport. On my journey, I encountered a book sale in the middle of a forest. Not something my wildest dreams imagined happening, yet I walked through it all and enjoyed the atmosphere. A few beautiful sights later and I found the mountain and climbed up high. It looked like the spot. At least 100 other people were here and they had the same idea. The mountain was crowded, but then disaster struck. Well, not quite disaster, but rain and storm. The kind an umbrella would take offense to. And more than rain was the lightning you can hear right now. See, I'm not a fan of lightning at the best of times, being a slightly wimpy British chap, but even less so being atop a tall mountain in Kyoto with nothing else around it. It was unlikely to strike here, but it was enough to make me decide I wouldn't enjoy the viewing from here, as I'd be just slightly worried about chilling up here. I frantically googled and found a car park 40 minutes across town that apparently had good views of all 5 bonfires. It sounded strange but novel enough to be worth a visit. So I found the bus and I made my descent, and the rain turned torrential. I paced for the bus stop as quick as I could and felt the compulsion to record it, as I couldn't quite fathom how hard the rain was suddenly falling. I made it to the bus with a minute to spare, but was completely soaked. I must have looked a mess on the bus, but the half-hour ride took me to the mall and let me dry off. The mall was an ordinary one, like any other, it just happened to be in the right part of Kyoto. So I made my way to the parking lot and saw a few other people milling about. It let me know I had the right spot. So I waited, and to no surprise the torrential rainfall seemed to be causing a problem for the fires to light. I was scouring the distant landscape for any sight of fire, and I was even zooming in on different lights in the distance. It looked like they could be fire, but there was no luck. But eventually, in the distance, it lit up. And it was far away enough from the car park that made it hard to fully appreciate the view. But what I could appreciate was the hilarity of the situation before me. The car park was full, but with nary a driver in sight. Literally hundreds of people had swarmed the car park for views of the 5 bonfires, and the internet didn't lie, they were all proudly on display in the distance in different parts of the car park. The entertainment of the event was nothing compared to the hilarity of hundreds of people crowding around in a car park. I loved that crazy atmosphere, and the mall even had a half-dozen employees hired to stand around and direct pedestrians away from the mall's clientele actually trying to use the car park. There was a lot of shouts and areas corned off and people trying to be sneaky and naughty and get around them for the best picture, and lots of staff saying no. I walked around a few times and just basked in the atmosphere, and yes, I did see the 5 fires. But that paled in comparison to the car park's crazy feeling that was just everywhere. And I couldn't help but reflect how chance took me here. The first spot was too niche, the second was stopped by lightning, and only then did the third reveal itself, and cement a permanent memory of Japan in my mind. So if you're in Kyoto mid-August, check if the Kyoto Gozan Okuribi is on. And if you're lucky enough to be here, go find this car park. It'll be worth your while. I'll link it in the description. Thanks for watching, and take care until the next one.